Hi there. This is a video cover letter for Metrik Marketing for the Executive Assistant position. My name is Deanna Strandquist, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself and why you need me for the Executive Assistant position that you're looking for. You had asked that we answer some questions. The first question is, why are you the best person for this job? I would have to say that I'm a professional and I take pride in my problem solving and self-sufficient skills. I love taking on new projects and challenges, and I don't mind pitching in where I'm needed. Then on to the next thing. I have dabbled in marketing for my own business, and I'm very fascinated at how quickly things change in this industry. Question number 2 you had was, describe the last 3 bosses you had and why you loved them and hated working for them. I had 3 bosses at the same time because I was working on a project north of Fort McMurray, and as I worked on the project, I worked as the executive admin for multiple bosses. I loved that they respected my opinion and they asked me to problem solve and left me to get the job done. My project manager, Ryan, was self-sufficient, but he was extremely busy. I left him alone mostly and only bothered him to get signatures, deliver messages, and meet him for weekly report deadlines. We worked extremely well together, and he asked me to follow him to the next project. Ryan used to drive me nuts because I was there as his assistant, but he just did stuff for himself when I was there to make his life easier. So we had to find our way on how we could work together, but I loved working for him. And the thing I liked about working for Ryan was that he left me to handle my own problems, and he gave me support when I needed it, but trusted that I was able to do the job. The second person that I worked for was Berdina. She was the safety manager. I didn't have enough work completely to be busy for Ryan, and so I continued to check with the other managers if they needed any help and support. She would give me tasks, then bigger tasks, and by the end of the project I was writing the project safety newsletter, doing her confidential correspondence, and supporting her safety team in addition to giving Ryan the project manager support. I absolutely loved Berdina, but so did the whole project, and so you could never get in to see her. So what I hated about her is that I had to be very selective in my communication with her to ensure that I met her deadlines. I couldn't waste time. Once I got into her to see her, I needed to make sure that I had everything ready. I had no time to wait for silly questions. I had to figure it out mostly myself and present her with some partially completed work. Then she would direct me on how to finish it. The third boss that I had was Tracy Braun, who was executive director at Oakcliff Seniors. She hired me as the marketing coordinator with almost no budget for me and very little budget for marketing. She encouraged me to be as creative as I could, to work with other nonprofit agencies, to work with other senior centers, get donations, whatever I could do to make my program work. If I could fund an activity, I could do it. So we started a themed dinner program, which was a smaller version of Calgary's own Jubilation Dinner Theatre. We had monthly events with costs that I managed to cover in ticket sales plus corporate donations. We partnered with other agencies to create programs. We ran stampede events, monthly music jams, and many different fundraising events for senior citizens, as well as dinner parties. Tracy had brilliant ideas, but sometimes they were a bit large, and I did everything in my power to make things happen if she wanted them to happen. But sometimes it was really tough, and sometimes her ideas were kind of dumb, but at least we tried to think outside the box and we gave it a try. Even if it didn't work, then we went on to the next thing. The third question was, tell me about your ideal situation. My ideal situation is a variety of work, lots of flexibility, some new challenges, respect for my contributions, and freedom to do the best job that I can do. Your fourth question was, tell me about the first job you ever had. what you did, and how long you had the job. I was a farm kid from Saskatchewan, so my first job was farm chores, so I learned the value of hard work. My first paying job was after school doing janitorial work. Out of school, I started at the local co-op where I was for 8 years, with 3 promotions during that time period. I decided to go back to school, and then I came to Calgary, started working in oil and gas. I'm very interested in finding out more about Metrik marketing, and I think the position sounds very interesting and challenging, and I would love to discuss further with you on how I can help you, and I'm positive that within 6 months you'll wonder what you did without me.